the idea that you can reward your loyal local customer base that really invest in you and support you and essentially keep you going as a small independent business that's surrounded by chains in a city that outprices independence is great. Hi, my name's Millie and welcome to Nook.
So Nook is located on Old Bond Street, and that's more towards the top end of the shopping centre within Bath. Now, as you can see, I've utilised the app here to locate exactly where they are and gain further information on their profile. You can see a whole collection of photographs, opening times, and a little bit more about their story, which we're now going to go into with a Q&A with the owner, Millie.
Okay, cool.
Your journey with Nook, how did it start?
So Nook started 5 years ago. The idea started. I was on holiday in Australia, having grown up in Australia, and I was in Byron, and we were eating like poke bowls and drinking cold pressed juices on the beach. And I was just kind of thinking about how where I lived in the UK in Frome, there was just nothing like that anywhere. Not really in the UK outside of London. And I didn't go to London often enough, and it wasn't close enough that I could eat this way all the time.
Yep.
And I really just thought how well it would go down where I live and how many like-minded people there were where I lived, people that were really into food, that were really into health food. So it really was born out of the desire to eat this way back home for me and for the people I knew.
Was successful, hence why I opened here?
Yeah, so Frome I opened, so the idea came 5 years ago. Frome then opened 6 months later, 4.5 years ago. And Frome did really well, but I made some mistakes early on in terms of business because it was my first business, you know. And then we all you know got put through the ringer with COVID and the pandemic. But after, you know, that kind of, towards the end of the COVID years, I decided that I wanted to open a second one. And I was born in Bath, and it seemed I knew the city quite well. It was a good, you know, not too far away from the flagship store, but also further enough that we would be able to get new customers. So Bath's been open, 14 months. So Bristol is opening this month.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So my shop in Bristol is on North Street in Bedminster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's great.
That's what made you want to take a jump to go like independent, be
To
your own
go in.
boss?
That was another big reason why I felt confident and brave enough to launch into my own business. I had worked in the industry for 16 years, and I'd worked for other people, and I'd really enjoyed it. But I'd been a manager at a hotel, at a restaurant, at a cafe, and I'd kind of done all that I felt like I'd learned all I could under somebody else. And I also had learned from a lot of the owners' mistakes. I mean, you can be your own boss, and eventually you can have your own schedule, you know, the flexibility that comes after working hard on your own business, and hiring great people to work for you. I got very lucky and hired very well and had an amazing team. I think we're a team of 7 here in Bath, and 5 of my staff members have been with me since we opened, which is incredible.
Yeah. How does the Australian theme go down?
It's amazing, and it's not something I really thought about before we opened, because where I grew up in Australia, on the Gold Coast in Queensland, there's a lot of tourism there. And of course you've got businesses that get a lot of regulars, but a lot of the cafes and restaurants that I worked at growing up, it was a big tourist trade, so that's what I was used to. And what was so amazing when I opened Frome in a small town is we know all, like 80% of our customers by name. It made me realise like how much I care about community is so important. And what's incredible is right in the centre of the city of Bath, which is very has a lot of tourism.
Tourists,
Yeah. What's incredible is we have such an amazing community of regulars and of local people that come to us. And I do think that the Australian influence has a lot to do with that. The fact that it's niche, that there's no other cafes in Bath where you can get like such a choice of, and the way we make them, like our smoothies, our poke bowls, cold pressed juice, acai bowls.
Talking of rewarding loyal customers,
Yeah.
returning customers, when did you sign up to Pixie?
So we've been with Pixie for a really long time. We were with Pixie in Frome. I think that we signed up with Pixie in the first year that we were open,
Amazing.
which is really great. Maybe when Pixie first came to Frome. And yeah, we've always been so supported by Pixie in using, the payment system, by being promoted on the app, with how to explain to customers what Pixie is and how it works. And so it was like a no-brainer when we opened in Bath that we were going to obviously be with Pixie here as well. And of course, when we open in Bristol, we'll be with Pixie again. Really exciting when I was told about the new loyalty scheme with Pixie, because we don't actually have our own loyalty scheme, and it helps us out, which is great. The idea that you can reward your loyal local customer base that really invest in you and support you and essentially keep you going as a small independent business that's surrounded by chains in a city that outprices independence is great.
Is your menu seasonal, or do you keep it the same due to the demand throughout the year?
With our menu, we do keep it probably 80% the same throughout the year. It's a lot to do with our menu. I would love to have a seasonal menu, but because the products that we sell are so popular and loved, and also very much like summer. It's like summer all year round in here, to be honest, with our menu. We do miso broth bowls over the winter, so we've got a hot lunch offering as well, and porridge bowls as well. But how our menu usually works is we change it. We mix it up twice yearly. So we do a spring-summer menu, and then we do an autumn-winter menu where we make probably edits to 20% of our menu. It's really finding that the perfect balance between keeping things interesting and bringing new menu items onto the menu so it doesn't become stale, but also really honouring the favourites and the loved dish, such as the banana bread. That will be a staple forever.
Best sellers.
Our toasted banana bread, which we serve with coconut yogurt, blueberry compote, fresh banana maple syrup, toasted and flaked almonds, has been popular from day one. We do a cacao acai smoothie bowl, which is like our classic berry acai bowl, but with added cacao powder and a bit of sea salt. And then we've got our drinks. We offer a full range of specialty coffees, and then we do super lattes. And our turmeric latte is really popular on that menu.
Are you on social media?
The main social media channel that we use is Instagram, and people can find us on Instagram. It's at Nook the Shop. We also have a website, so it's www.nooktheshop.co.uk. On there you can find our story, our menus, our opening hours, things like that, and that feeds into our Instagram as well. But those are our two main.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Granola is really, really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we make everything in-house.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference.
Thanks for making it good.
Oh, you're so welcome.
So I ordered the poke bowl bang bang chicken, following Millie's recommendation for a light lunch. And I used the Pixie app to pay. Now, it's an attachment within your Apple Wallet. So the meal cost me £9.95, and Nook offer a 2% cashback when you use Pixie. Therefore, I got 18p back. Now, it might not seem a lot, but I've only used Pixie now for a handful of times, and already I've accumulated £2.95, which is probably going to get me a coffee. Every penny counts, and it's a great incentive to support independent businesses. So here's a visual of the Bang Bang chicken. Now, not only does it look incredible, it did taste fantastic, and I can definitely see why it's one of the best sellers on the menu. Baked chicken, had some red onions in there, some broccoli, some rainbow slaw, some sweet corn salsa, spinach, some sushi rice, and then it was topped off with some spicy peanuts. It's really, really good. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. And you. Cheers.